Yes, right, it's working. Okay, so what we're building up to is how plants survive some really crazy places like a desert. You have cacti and things like that. So to understand, and it's a really cool word for them, xerophytes, we've got to pull back. So we've looked at transpiration and translocation. So we're going to pull back to transpiration. Now, if you remember rightly, or wrongly, whichever one, transpiration is the movement of water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, right? From the root to the leaf. Roots to leaves, leaf, however you want to put it. Okay. Now, this through the xylem vessels, and also it is powered by the evaporation. I'll put that again, evaporation of water, right? So evaporation of water, and that should be for you guys a little bit of a recap, all right? So, and the way that I look at it, well, I've got this plant, especially when it comes to xylem, it's made of dead cells. You've got these roots, you've got the xylem vessel, and it goes to the leaf, okay? And it is the evaporation of water. And you see, I'm going down. You think, why aren't you going upwards? I will tell you in a minute, and hopefully you remember. So it's the evaporation of water out of the leaves. And it's almost as if it grabs the water molecules behind it and pulls them up. And like you've got this single column of water going all the way up and into your leaves. And the evaporation yanks these molecules up. Okay, now, what affects how fast a plant loses water? And this is a really cool idea. And the reason it's a really cool idea is because, well, how do plants survive? I mean, if you were in a desert, any of us would barely survive a few days. Even if we knew what we were doing, it's really hard to survive in a desert. Yet some plants like cacti live there and just are happy as Larry. So what is it? What affects the evaporation of water? And if you think about it, and I'm talking about xerophytes like cacti, if too much water evaporates, they're dead. But anyway, what affects it? Well, temperature. Okay. The hotter it is, water molecules have more energy and move faster. I'm going to add a bit of physics into that. That is called kinetic energy. So when something moves faster, a little bit of physics that we did, that's kinetic energy. But anyway, let's leave that. So the warmer it is, the faster the water molecules move, and that means they evaporate quicker. All right. And the other thing, warm air can hold more water vapor, and water vapor is really important. And I got kind of pictures in my head. If you picture a tropical rainforest, it is hot and it is just full of water vapor and sticky and humid. Okay, so the kind of things I have in my head is diffusion, is the movement of anything from a high concentration, or high concentration to a low concentration. Now, this is the movement. Diffusion is the movement of a molecule. Diffusion is the movement of water molecules. All right. Now, the thing about that is the movement of water molecules, or anything actually. I'm just going to put of molecules from a high to a low concentration. And that really tells us something, that if the irrelevant to the concentration, if it's warm, let's put that down here. If it's warm, the molecules are moving faster, therefore diffusion is happening faster. Okay. The other way I look at it, and another picture I have in my head, is if I've got a leaf, right, and you've got water molecules inside, and there's high humidity and water molecules on the outside, Well, your water molecules are going to really find it hard to get out because they keep bumping into water molecules on the other side. But also, if you think about it, there's a high concentration of water molecules both inside and outside. All right. So if you've got lots of humid air, you have lots of water molecules. So you have a high conc of water molecules inside, high conc on the outside. So the concentrations aren't that different. So there's less diffusion because the concentrations are similar. Okay. And that's what humidity does. Air movement. Aha. So the air movement. So if you come back to this picture and think, right, I've got a high conc and a high conc, and my diffusion is pretty slow. If wind comes along and goes, bye-bye, and drags these water molecules off, then you head back into low conc, high conc to low conc. All right. It's a low concentration on the outside because the wind has blown it away. So the more wind, the faster the rate of transpiration. All right. Now, fourthly, light intensity. Plants need light for photosynthesis. When they photosynthesize, stomata, and some of you will be like, "Whoa, I don't remember doing stomata." You might not have even been here. All right. So stomata open up. Just to refresh your memory, I'm going to zoom into number 4, and I'm going to put a pic of stomata. These are tiny little holes on the underneath of cells, underneath the leaves. They're on the base on leaves. I don't like that picture. It shows them on top. It's not generally on the bottom. That's why right at the start I said, water evaporates. You would think from the top. It doesn't. It evaporates from the bottom because of stomata. Stomata are on the bottom. Okay. So if there's lots of light, there's more photosynthesis. Plants need more carbon dioxide, so the stomata open. And because the stomata open, you lose more water vapor. All right. So, and you'll also notice I've actually made my bullet points longer. One thing you guys need to do is start being able to access text. All right. So after today's lesson, when you get your head around this, we will look at how things like cacti have evolved to live in the desert. Okay, oh, look at that. Just under 8 minutes.